morning. Thank God for another day. It's King Rain coming at you with another video. And this video is going to be about Akon's comments as saying that so-called American blacks need to get over slavery. Now, to all my so-called black people, don't we hear that enough, from other races that didn't have to deal with slavery and the concept that we had to? And now we got to damn hear it from someone who looks like us, but it's not us. Because, we're supposedly American blacks. And, he is truly, an African. And if you want to call him an African American, because, his bloodline or his lineage is traced to Senegal, which is in Africa, but he has citizenship also in America. So that can, give him, you know, the pretense of being a African American. But, I would like to say that, how can someone who's, truly not an American black, because, Africans and American blacks are still two different people. I don't care what anyone says, you know. If we were the same, we would have, similar cultures, we would speak the same language, like, it's a whole lot of things that go into that to, encompass and show that, two things are similar, or, that Africans and African Americans are similar. But, you know, the confusion with that also is that, that, oh, if you're black, so-called black, you're African American, when, all so-called blacks didn't come from Africa, newsflash, but all so-called blacks did not come from Africa, you know. But he would feel that, because he looks similar to us, that he has the right, which he does have the right, but he feels that he has the, the influence also to speak on topics that doesn't involve him. You want to say that, so-called American blacks should get over slavery when, to this day we still deal with the concept of slavery. It's just in a different fashion. It's not, it's not to the same power of subjugation that it was back then, where, we basically, so-called blacks, basically working for nothing, and basically in servitude, it's not to that extent in these times. Now it's, about, hey, well, if you're not making enough money, you're not living right, if you're not, driving this kind of car, you're not living right. You're not doing right with your life. If your house isn't this big, you're not doing right in your life. So, slavery is still around, but in America, it's just done in a different way, and that's done through, material items. I'm sorry, such as cars, money, jewelry, houses, and that's not to say that all people have a vice, regardless. Everyone has a vice. Everyone has something that they probably shouldn't be doing, but that they do. So, no one is perfect, but I don't want to hear from Akon that so-called American blacks need to get over slavery. It's easier for someone who has money and didn't have to deal with it, and from the standpoint that American blacks had to deal with it. That'd be the equivalent of us as so-called blacks saying that any genocide, I mean so-called American blacks, I'm sorry, that would be us saying that any genocide or any type of evil killing that was done in Africa, all Africans need to forget about that. All the bad things they went through, they need to get over, But, on a different note, it's funny that you don't ever hear, anyone saying that the Jews need to get over the Holocaust, But people are quick to tell us what we need to get over, But like I said, I don't want to hear damn show from him, Like I said, he hasn't been relevant. Akon, who I'm talking about, hasn't been relevant since, the early 2000s. And, to give yourself some relevance and to get someone back into the spotlight, what do you do when Master Splinter 96 get out of jail? You are in the studio with him doing another, compilation or another version of Locked Up, you know. And just you doing that shows that you've lost touch, with, you know, I can't say us because, like I said, we're not the same people, but you've lost touch with, the little contingency of people that you had as far as the American blacks. Because, I've been stopped listening to Akon, and, I don't, listen to him anyway. But, you know, I was really admiring him, in reference to what he was doing in Africa, as far as helping provide people with electricity. But, you, like I said, after being gone for, might as well say the last 5 to 10, maybe even longer years, the first thing you can do once you crawl from up under your rock is do a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine. And then now you want to say that so-called blacks need to forget slavery, you know. But like I said, how can you ever understand the concept of being an American black when you're not even American and you're not, a so-called black? Your lineage, Akon. So how can you say, as being a native of Senegal, and also that's where you're from, you being a Senegalese, if that's the correct way of saying it, how can you, being that type of person, say that American blacks need to forget something? But you wouldn't dare form your lips to tell the Jews that they need to forget about the Holocaust. And that's a damn shame that, you would, say or really denigrate your own people, but would be scared to, go against the individuals that really have caused issues and problems in Africa. You wouldn't dare speak up against them, but you have the the balls to speak on so-called American blacks. Like, I find that, very, that's insightful, definitely, because you showing which side you on, But like I said, I don't want to hear from no damn Akon about, what us as the so-called American blacks need to give up, because you have never lived as an American black. You couldn't. Us as the so-called black people of the Americas, we haven't truly lived as so-called American blacks. All we've lived as the so-called blacks. But like I said, it's easier for someone who has money, and can, basically buy themselves out of issues and problems that they have. It's easier for you to speak on what so-called blacks need to let go, But, tell the so-called blacks that, that, family members have, mementos and, things of the past to show that they deal with slavery, How can you tell them just to forget about slavery, But I hope that people look at your comments and realize it for what it is. And I hope that the so-called American blacks, distance themselves from you, because that's what you need, You need to, be out on the island by yourself and, see if, the person that's giving you all the money now, gonna continue to support you in everything you do, But I'm not gonna, make this video too long. Thank God for another day. And I'm gonna have some more videos on the way. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be back at y'all, later with some more videos.